Get me up long. I haven't got myself sorted out yet. How we doing, guys? Hope you're all well. Give me a memento. Nothing's working. Push the right buttons. Explained. Let's have a look. See. Has anyone had issues with their mobile reception recently? Because my mobile reception is shocking. I've got a new phone. I upgraded my phone about 2 months ago, and I just don't seem to be able to get anything anywhere. Let's get back to that. There we go. How are we all doing? Is there anybody there? Is there anybody there? See, even now I'm on Wi-Fi, and my Wi-Fi is playing up along. What is going on? Okay, I think I'm good. I'm up and running, good to go. How are you doing? Have we got anyone in? Maz, how are you doing, Maz? Hope you're well. Haven't seen you in ages. My God, when was the last time I see everyone? From Essex Ghost Hunters, I mean. Not everyone as a whole. I think it was before Christmas. Oh, no, 30 Years Drive.
I think we're going to be a patchy show tonight. The internet ain't great.
Oh, just saying the same thing, mate.
The internet's really iffy tonight.
Really iffy. My mobile reception has been atrocious as well.
To be fair, I've changed to, I suppose I've got to 3, and it's been actually very reasonable. Very, very reasonable over the last, like, I went from EE, which was terrible.
Yeah.
So, right, where's me mouse? Are you ready?
Go, go, go.
Let's go. No, it's not going to allow me. Sounds like we're live there. Bring that in.
One day, it's now time. One day for you to sit back in your chair and relax. Let your mind wander into the deepest, darkest parts of your brain. And let Russ take you on a journey to the unexplained.
Good evening, guys, and welcome to Journey Through the Unexplained, live and exclusive on Post Talk Radio. It's Thursday, the 14th of March, 2024. And where else would you rather not be on a Thursday night than looking at mine and Paul's ugly mugs, or listening to mine and Paul's ugly mugs? So welcome, everybody. Share. It's Thursday. I've got to be totally honest. I do not know if Philip was on before us because I forgot to check. So I do apologise. But if he was on before us, I can't say, we know it was going to be a great show, but I don't want to say it was a great show because I didn't listen to it. But we know it was a great show. So Philip, if you did, I do apologise. I should have checked, but I was just doing everything. I'm trying to get everything sorted for tomorrow, and let's just say I'm behind the 8 ball, but hey ho. We'll get there, won't we? We'll get there. Once again, my wonderful co-host, Mr. Paranormal Paul, is in the house as well.
Hello, how are we doing? All good?
I am good. I'm hoping everybody can hear and see us. If you are listening on Pulse Talk, you can also head over to YouTube or Facebook to watch us. I do think I do feel that there's going to be issues because you just know when the internet isn't breaching very well because the viewers drop. You notice that? You know, so I don't know if we're actually broadcasting very well or not. So, you know, let us know if you can hear us, if you can see us, and then go from there. I was just getting I don't know who that is. But we'll see that. I'm getting text messages now on my other phone. I don't know who it is. So, welcome, one and all. I'm going to start off with a rant. Okay, I need to start off with a rant and get it off my chest because I feel like this show I can get it off my chest and be more liberal about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I will actually mention the twit's name. Okay, I will mention the twit's name. There's a gentleman. Actually, I won't mention his actual name, but I'll call it. You know, I will mention what his what do you call it, alias, or what he thinks he is. His name's the Ghost Challenger. Okay, his name is the Ghost Challenger. You can follow him on Facebook. But over the last couple of, I'd say, weeks, he's become very arrogant, artistic, and I don't really know what other to say than probably clout chasing, what you got, wanting to go viral. And slagging off the paranormal world, which is a very much a broad spectrum. You know, it started off very simply with him challenging, do you believe in ghosts and things like that, which I'm fine. I haven't got any problems with people who do not believe in it. That gives you the fight, not the fight, because that's the wrong word, but it gives you, you know, something to work towards. You've been on events with us enough now, Paul, to realise that a lot of people that do come along, not necessarily, you know, a lot of people with their partners come along and not believe in it.
Yeah, 100%. Seen many a skeptic in our events, but it's their right, isn't it, you know? No,
are they rude to us?
No, not at all. If anything, I'd say 9 times out of 10 by the end of the night, they've sort of changed their way of thinking.
And it is, in my eyes, oh, where you gone? In my eyes, it's more the fact of the words he uses, i.e., if you believe in ghosts, you're a pond life, frog and who. Fair enough. I've had the pleasure of speaking and interviewing on our other show, Dr. Kieran O'Keefe, probably one of the biggest skeptics on TV. You know, always was a skeptic. But he never, ever belittled anybody. Never. It was a belief. You know, could he add science to it? Could he poo-poo it? He had an opinion to it.
Yeah.
And how it worked. Fine. Talk to us like that. You know, we're quite open to a debate. We're quite open to that sort of thing. But this bloke has nothing to back it up. You know, he despises that people go out on a Saturday night wearing uniform hunting ghosts. Despises it. You know, you're wacky, you're stupid, you're idiots. Why? I would rather be doing that than sitting behind my computer typing that out. Go and get a life. And then he goes, I'll come on anyone's podcast, I'll come on anyone's show and do an interview. Well, I watched one where he did an interview and the bloke wouldn't even show his face on it. He'd only talk. You know, wouldn't have his video on. He's only have his microphone. And apparently he's building a £30,000 studio for his new podcast. 30K. Anyone who uses StreamYard are idiots. I would never use StreamYard to do a podcast. Well, why would you use StreamYard to do a podcast? It's not video. You know, I don't upload this, you know, I don't upload this to any podcast. I don't, you know. We've got the audio. We record the audio. The audio is always recorded. You can upload it, but this is for the Facebook and this is for YouTube viewers to see us, to interact with us. Yeah. But there's many things that we come on here, you know, there's a big, you know, we don't necessarily always disagree, but there is one thing that we don't agree on. You know, you think it's coming to a head and I don't.
Yeah.
But do we ever disrespect each other for that?
No.
No. It's an opinion on both sides that we can't prove or disprove. Just like ghosts or spirits.
That's the whole point of doing a podcast or a show or something like that, is to get other people's opinions. You haven't got to agree with them. It doesn't mean you've got to be at each other's throats about it. You know, you see all too much of that now, you know, just because someone don't believe the same thing you believe or follow the same line you follow, don't mean you've got to go at heads with each other.
No, but just be respectful. If you don't believe what I believe in, just say it. I believe in that. And I accept that. But to be called pond life because of what I believed in, to be called an idiot for what I believe in, is twattish. It is so twattish. Bloke is an absolute child. He's a child beyond a child.
He got right under your skin, isn't he?
Beyond a joke. And I am so placid when it comes to Facebook. Yeah. You know, I don't care about it. You know, Facebook's Facebook. But this bloke has really got my goat. And I do put an invitation out there. So if there is any listeners watching or anything like that, and you do follow the Ghost Challenger, tag him in this. Tag him in this. Stick him in there. And one day, in the next coming weeks, we'll have him on this show. That's an open challenge because I'm not going to him. He's the Ghost Challenger. He should be challenging us. But apparently, he contacts a lot of people to see if they will come up and see. He will contact them to go on their show. You know, do your own stupid show, my friend. Do your own show. But you don't want to use StreamYard because that's stupid. Who uses StreamYard? All the paranormal people use StreamYard. I'd love to see. Apparently, he's got a new one coming out on the 4th of April. I would love to see what he goes live on because, by God, if he goes live on StreamYard and I'm watching, I am going to rip that geezer a new fucking arsehole. I swear to you. Okay? Because I've screenshotted that post.
Oh, brilliant.
You know, what else would you use? You know, if you're young and understand computers, you're going to use OBS. You're going to use that. Okay? I get that. I've tried using it. It's not me. It's too complicated. It's far too complicated. But it's good when it works. This works perfect. It does everything. We see the comments coming in. We can display the comments. We can broadcast to whoever we want to broadcast to. It plays on the radio. We're live on the radio. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. But hi guys, Kim has put, who is upset? I don't want to give his name out, but I will do. You know, his name's Richard Case, the Ghost Challenge. Okay, that's his name. All right, and he hasn't upset me because his beliefs. That's one thing that he hasn't upset me about. It's his attitude, a narcissistic and self-opinionated problem And I don't, you know, I'm all for mental health issues. Okay, I support that. This is how this show started. During lockdown, this show was dedicated to people who were struggling with mental health in this time when they couldn't get out. And my friend, he will crawl behind his rock again when things start to get tough for him. But he did it before Christmas, and he'll do it again. And he'll play that card when his viewers get down. And this is why he gives it all the Bertie big bollocks about I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. You know, fair enough. Then he'll come on this show and call it an echo chamber. You're just saying the same things. But he can't come on the show and bring any evidence because there's no such thing as evidence against if cat balls do not produce a spirit energy. I don't like the cat ball thing. Never have done, never been a big lover of it. But I can't sit there and prove with science that that thing hasn't gone off because spirit hasn't touched it. I can't disprove to you that that energy has said something in this phone. I can't. And science can't disprove it or prove it.
No.
So once again,
he's saying he's a man of science, but you know, frequency, energy, isn't that science? Just because it's not in the form that, you know, I don't really waste my time with people like that. You know, fair enough, I have an opinion, but
I have no interest in this bloke's time. Okay. But when you make a comment on his post that was genuine, you get called stupid and an idiot. And that's all he puts. He must copy and paste it from a load of different anything that he doesn't like. You're stupid and you're idiotical.
And you want to get him on the show?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I want him on this show. I don't trust myself on the other show.
I'd like to get him on this show just to see how you handle it.
Well, the bloke didn't even, when he went on some other show and he wouldn't even come on and show his face. That's what annoys me with the bloke. That is what annoys me with the bloke. He hides behind this computer all the time. I can't wait to the 4th of April. I can't wait to the 4th of April to see his new podcast because, by God, if I see the word StreamYard, I know what the StreamYard thing looks like. We know what it looks like. And if that comes out and it's on StreamYard, I will be all over that feed. When is the 4th? When is the 4th?
What's that? 3.5 weeks time?
So it must be a week. Is it going to be a Friday night? Is it going to be a Friday night? I don't know where my calendar is in this. I'm sorry I'm ranting. And I really am sorry I'm ranting.
No, it's a Thursday. 4th of April, yeah?
Oh, yes. Well, I'll be having that on a different screen as we're broadcasting. We really will. I just don't like his attitude. That's it. You know, it's nothing to do with what he does. He has every right to disbelieve. But the arrogance to call yourself the ghost challenger. With his picture praying. He don't believe in God, but he's got his picture praying. You know? And where did he all start? He used to work within the paranormal. He used to do it all. He used to walk around with his K2 meter in the things. And everybody that goes out to a graveyard insulting and derogatory towards spirit. Was
he on a show?
Yeah.
Because I recognised his face, but
yes, he has been on a show. He has been on a show because that's what he used to do. Not the ghost chat. He used to do it.
I see. So obviously, because he never obviously got any evidence or anything happened to himself, that's it. It's all a load of poo-poo, isn't it?
Well, no, it's because no one, obviously, I think it's more the fact of he's doing it all to get noticed and go viral again. Must be the pennies must be drying up in my eyes. Right. They're so, it's old hat to be fair. We broadcast and, Look at the younger generation. It's all TikTok now. The older generation.
They've just banned it in America, ain't they? Well, they're banning it.
Yeah. Natalie's there. Hi, guys. I'm sat in the Chinese, so I'm only going by subtitles at the moment. I do apologise, Natalie, but it's probably just been me ranting for the last, 19 minutes? All me ranting about some bloke that's really got on my wick. But no, the offer is there, Mr. Ghost Challenger, to come on this show and challenge. I have nothing to prove to you. I believe in what I believe in. That's a simple. You ain't challenging me at all. But I do want to know why you are doing this and why you're so derogatory towards it and why insulting towards it. He is a member of the Ghost Club, but calls us all idiots. Kim, that's exactly my point with the bloke. That is exactly my point. That is it. That is it. Now, I had a rant about this on the other show a couple of weeks ago because of the word para-unity. Okay? Yeah. It's para-unity. And I don't necessarily believe in that word, but there's times when we all have to get together and have para-unity. And that's it. All right? So that is my rant for the week. I have to get it off my chest. Evening, Heidi. How are you?
Hi, Heidi.
So yes, I have had my rant and I have called him out, and I am quite happy because I feel that this show here has more boundaries because of the different topics we talk about.
Yeah.
We're going to be idiots because, some people believe in flat earth because the science says so. Fine. I'm not a flat earther. But do I disknowledge people and despise of people who believe in flat earth? No, I do not. It's their choice. It's as simple as. Right. Woosa.
Deep breath, count to 10.
Deep breath. No, but he has got on my wick. He really has got on my wick. And it's
you don't show it.
No, I think I've done really well to keep it under my hat. Right. So, what are we going to talk about? We're going to start off with a conspiracy that has been closed. There's still little avenues off of it. That we're not saying this conspiracy that we are going to talk about. It's going to take a couple of minutes because there is other things that we're going to talk about tonight. And I think we are going to be pretty political tonight as well because Paul's got a bit of explaining to do because I'm totally clueless of what he was sent me this morning. But but we'll start off with, what was it called? The Dragon Fire, was it?
Oh, yeah, that's the one you sent me, isn't it?
Yes. Let me just find it and I can give you the exact name of it. Let me see. That's it. Well, I can link that straight to it. I'll go straight to the BBC. Oh no, I can't. It looks like it's already been moved. Oh, there it goes. Dragon Fire Laser. Okay, the BBC on the 19th of this month, I believe. And I sent Paul the
Can't
video.
Be lighting for this month. It's only the 14th.
It can't be. It must have been last month then. February. But I only sent you the video last week, didn't I? Must have been a little bit delayed.
Yeah.
The UK has successfully fired a high-power laser weapon against an aerial target for the first time in a trial. The Dragonfire weapon is precise enough to hit a £1 coin from a kilometre away, the Ministry of Defence says. It's described the test at its Highbridge range in Scotland as a major step in bringing the technology into service. I won't read it all because it'll probably be very repetitive. But I think that what we have been speaking about over the last year, we've touched on it a couple of times with the Hawaiian fires. There was the other fires, wasn't there, as well?
Chile
fires.
I think Chile got it worse than Hawaii.
But the Hawaii one, we did like a proper show on it, didn't we? We did a whole. I think there's been reports over in certain fires in certain countries in Europe as well.
Well, Texas as well is the one I sent you, the most recent one. Texas is having probably the worst fire in its history.
Yeah.
And it's very peculiar patterns, the way things are burning. I mean, they even had snow.
Yes.
The other morning, and it was still
burning away.
Fire.
I think.
Very bizarre. And what's Texas doing? Oh, yeah, they're going against the government.
But the funniest thing was, and, you know, it's like I feel like I'm picking on him, but I generally ain't. This one I'm generally not. But Mr. Biden, when he did his press conference, he stood there, and for the first time, I would say, Mr. Biden that stood there looked the normal President Biden.
Coherent.
He didn't look like he was going to muck up. And he didn't muck up per se, because it was obviously what he was told to say. He wasn't freelancing. He worded it in the way that I suppose he was worded it, if that makes sense.
I think he did sort of slip up, but in the way that, because as soon as he said it, he sort of realised what he'd said and quickly changed the subject.
But he looked more human in that video. You know, the ones that you see him walking down the lawn, you just know it's not him. The one that just stops mid-conversation, then changes, it's just not him. But this person, whoever it was, if it was Mr. Biden, you know, stood there and spoke. He spoke quite nicely and understanding. No mumbling. I could understand what he said. But he said, and he showed a picture, a little bit like COVID. Next slide, please. And the picture of the, a road with one half of the road totally devastated, and the other side of the road, nothing. Perfect. When a bit of dirt laying on the road, it's perfect. And he said, amazingly, he had better roofs, or they had the right roof.
The right roof.
The right roof. Which I think anybody who is anybody could understand what he's saying. Because if you have followed this story throughout the time, anything that is blue doesn't get hit. Does not get hit. So if you have with all the, the best one was the Hawaiian fires, where the person went out with his video camera and walked through the whole city and walked through all the fires and picked up everything that was blue. There was cars burnt to the ground, and you'd say car, blue car, untouched, car behind it, burnt to the ground. So the color blue is very significant to these lasers.
Yeah.
Because I don't know of any experiment that you could light anything that, if you set a fire in your back garden, there's a good chance that these would burn. Agreed?
Yeah.
These would burn quite willingly. But if the laser hit these, I'm assuming the black would be devastatedly gone, but the blue would be totally perfect. Is that right?
That's the way it seems. Oh,
what's the light go off?
yeah.
See, I've got a blue light. I'm all right. What happened?
Got blue light.
What happened? You went totally dark.
I know. Got a fully charged light here as well.
Well, that was weird.
I don't think that's going to work now.
So Paul's already had technical issues.
There we go. That'll do.
Yeah, we can see you.
Yes, because they done that test, didn't they, with all the different colours lined up, and the blue one in the middle with a laser running through them, and it set fire to all of them, burnt them all apart from the blue, just lightly brushed past it, didn't even leave a mark on the blue, and then the rest of them burnt. So yes, very bizarre.
So we are now seeing.
But it's not even that though. It was like, I mean, there was nothing left of these houses. Nothing. It burnt right through into the basements. And yet, if there was a tree next to that house, it was untouched. So they keep saying it's due to wildfires, forest fires, but all the trees around them were untouched. It was just the houses and the cars that burnt.
I'll put this to you as well. Then is that, giving the location away, a few years ago you had the same sort of incident in your area with the quite the bad fires.
Yes.
Now there's a video quite happily that goes around on YouTube. Look at the perfect ring around the church. There is a, what would you call that? 3-foot ring around the church of grass that was untouched.
Yeah.
But the whole way around the church, the grass was burnt to a crisp.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that where you live, Paul, they was experimenting with lasers. That's not what I'm saying, because I can't really call what the weather was like. I'm assuming it was devastatingly dry at the time.
Yeah, it was. And windy.
But I can't remember like a lightning storm or anything like that where these lasers, because I have to feel that the lasers have to be seen.
No. That's what they're saying on that news report as well. They were using the special lenses so you could see the laser. So the naked eye, you wouldn't see nothing. Right,
yes, that makes sense. Why some of them are different colours, because they're using different lenses.
Yes,
right, that makes sense.
It is a direct energy weapon.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah,
a little bit like the Death Star.
Yeah, only you can see that with your naked eye.
Yeah, but it's something that I feel that we're closing the door on the conspiracy that these weapons don't exist. The governments are telling us now these weapons exist. So that leads me down to the point of that with all these things that are going on, with these fires where certain coloured objects are not burning, is a laser energy weapon. But why they're doing it in them areas, I don't know. Obviously, we could probably fit Texas into it because of obviously their turn against the government and standing up against the governments over there. So, maybe putting them into touch. I'm not too sure why Hawaii got collared. I think we spoke about it though, didn't we?
Yeah, because they want to make Hawaii the first sort of smart city, the 100% smart city, but they can't do that. With native people on the land, on the areas they want to do it to, and they still don't know what's gone on behind. Do you know they still haven't been paid out for those that lose their house? Because where it's all been fenced off, so no one can see what's going on behind the fencing, they won't let the insurance assessors in just to look at the house and say, yep, that's burnt to a crisp, we can pay out. Because they can't clarify that house had burnt down, because the government won't let them in to do that for whatever reason, the people are still not being paid out.
But what are they hiding, though?
Exactly. What are they hiding?
What are they hiding? It makes no... that little
Why can't the people rebuild their house where their house once stood? Because it seems that it's all part of the run it on as long as they can. That's where they're smart city. And this is where it goes to Chile as well. Because I didn't realise. I can't remember the name of the company, but the main hub that wanted not the smart city, but the smart city. The main hub is in Chile, where all them fires took place, and a lot of the places were like old shanty towns, like corrugated iron huts and things like that. But there was some houses there as well, obviously. But it all burnt down as well. Two of the places, one wants to be the first smart city in America, and the other was the central hub of where their company's based. Both got burnt to a crisp. Very strange.
Very, very strange. And I'd be very interesting to see as and when the first incidents happen over here.
Mm.
Because obviously these dragonfire lasers, whatever, and this is nothing, and I actually did a little bit of digging into these lasers, and I thought it was quite a modern day thing, but it doesn't. This goes back quite a long time, these lasers and how they've developed them. But there's no sort of confirmed evidence that these lasers were anything a part of the Hawaiian things or anything like that. But there is videos doing the rounds on TikTok and things like that of these blue arcing, like when you get, like one of the, it's all I can explain it is, like when you see in the films in America when their power lines cut and you get the ball of blue light, don't you, that swings down. And makes that zapping noise, doesn't it? The bloke out of whatever film it was, Spider-Man, where he was full electric, that sort of thing. And there was videos of that, wasn't there, doing the rounds, of that sound, of that energy concentration in these areas at the time.
I'll tell you what it reminded me of, and because there was also a couple of videos where you actually saw a beam as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
The War of the Worlds, the one Tom Cruise done?
Yes.
So it's almost identical to that with the tripods, the thing that they shoot at that turns everyone to ash. It even sounded like it. It looked like it.
Yeah. But what, skeptics will say it's lightning. I get it.
Straight line.
Yeah, but I can get the actual hitting. I can get it if it was to be struck. That makes sense. I get that. But it was moving, wasn't it? It was like a directional movement, like as if it was directly aiming at ball lightning. Yes, I suppose like that sort of but it's very rare. It's never been caught on camera. Is it ball lightning? Is it ball lightning? I remember rightly. I don't think ball lightning's ever been caught.
Lightning, a complete straight line that moves. I thought lightning just zigzags down and it hits one spot.
Yeah, where did I just go there? Ball lightning. This is from Wikipedia. Ball lightning is a rare, unexplained phenomena described as luminescence, spherical objects that vary from pea size to several meters in diameter. Though usually associated with thunderstorms, the observed phenomena is reported to last considerably longer than a split-second flash of a lightning bulb. This phenomena are distinct from St. Elmo's fire. Some 19th century reports describe balls that eventually explode and leave behind odour or sulphur. Descriptions of ball lightning appear in various accounts over the centuries that have received attention from scientists. An optical spectrum of what appears to have been ball lightning event was published in January 2014 and included a video at high frame rate. Laboratory experiments have produced effects that are very similar and reports to ball lightning, but how these relate to supposed phenomena remains unclear. Scientists have proposed a number of hypotheses to explain reports of ball lightning over the centuries, but scientific data on ball lightning remains scarce. The presumption of it exists has depended on reports of public sighting, which have produced inconsistent findings, owing to a lack of reproducible data. I don't know that word. Existence of ball lightning as a distinct physical phenomenon remains unproven. So,
but that doesn't sound like what we was describing, though.
Yes, if you look at some of the pictures, like on when you sort of do ball lightning and some, I don't know if it's. Yes, it does look very much like it, Paul.
Right.
I don't know if do you ever remember the video of that lightning, the ball lightning crossing the railway line?
Yeah, was that ball lightning? Was it?
That's what they're calling ball lightning. But there is also pictures of like ball lightning hitting things as well. There's one in the Daily. There's the ball lightning one in the Daily Mail picture. Looks very, very. I don't know if I can. I don't know if this works. Does it? Let's have a look. Oh. Let's have a look. Oh, there you go. So, if you look at the Daily Mail one, I don't know if you see my mouse. That's the Daily Mail one. That one there looks very like it, but low level.
So that don't look like the video that I saw, though. It was a straight line.
Yeah, but I didn't see the lines. I was looking at the actual.
The ball part of it.
Yeah, like the hitting of the. I couldn't tell you necessarily what was above it. If that makes sense. Am I back? Am I back?
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, that was the actual ball lightning hitting the ground and making the noise. That goes in my head. I can see that. I just can't remember what was above it in the videos. If that makes it's not to say that you're wrong. I'm not. I just can't remember.
No, I think we're talking about two different videos here as well. I'm talking about the one that was a straight line that come down and it just sort of then like dragged.
Yeah, there's a couple of videos at the time we was talking about it, wasn't there? That
yeah.
I just remember hearing the noise. That it was all very electrical sounding. Everything sort of made sense to that point of that. So, I'm not sitting here and saying it is electrical lightning. That's not what I'm saying, ball lightning. But if I had to shoehorn, if I was matter of life or death, I was shoehorning it in. That's probably where I'd go to.
Yeah.
Do I think it is? No. I think I can actually show the viewers on StreamYard, and because I know how to do screen sharing at the moment. This is what the dragon fire looks like from. It was the 19th
That
of
looks a lot like
January.
the video I was describing.
Yeah, but then I can see that because the bottom bit. Do you see my mouse or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the bit that I saw was blue there. I didn't see what was above it.
Right.
If that makes sense. I never saw what was above it, but once again, I'm assuming that's a lens because it's coloured red. Paul, is that right?
Yeah.
So that is, in my eyes, to be fair, I think that when we say the conspiracy of laser weapons has now been confirmed. How they're using them is now the conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense, we can close the door that they are existence. We know they're there, and what a perfect weapon if you can't see it. If you can't see it, how far? They're saying a kilometre. What's that in miles? It's not a mile? Is it a kilometre?
No, not quite a mile. But I mean, so they're saying that was their first test fire. Well, there's no way that was their first test fire.
No,
it's their first. What's the word I'm looking for? Where everyone knows about it, to let everyone know that they're their first organised test fire type thing.
Let's be,
that would have been tested the hell out of before they done that. Because if anything went wrong, then they knew that thing was working perfectly fine before that test.
But let's go back to like this. This is the comment that we know that it is not the first test fire. The dragon fire weapon is precise enough to hit a £1 coin from a kilometre away.
Yeah, which says that was their test fire.
Yeah, all right. Let's be fair. That's like picking up a dart for the very first time and throwing it at the board and hitting a treble 20.
Yeah.
The likelihood is absolutely null and void. Yeah. It's been practiced on, it's been done, they've probably got to the point where the test fire at a kilometre is the test fire from a kilometre. I reckon they've started at, like 6 inches, a foot, a 2 foot, 20 foot, 100 foot, 300 foot. And then they go, let's try it where we think we can absolutely nail it.
Yeah.
Kilometre. Everyone get your phones ready. We're going to try it, the £1 coin from a kilometre away. And they know they're going to hit it because they haven't missed the £1 coin from every step of the foot they've taken because they've had to adjust it, and they hit it.
They also said in that news bulletin that it will be used as a defence mechanism by air, land, and sea. By air. And I'm sure the Americans, was it Trump with his galactic force or whatever you call it? I can't remember what you call it now. But didn't he say that they had that sort of technology?
Cool. I know
that's where it would have been, the easiest place for it to be used from, wouldn't it? The air.
Yeah.
If you've got a straight line, you're quite limited ground level and where you can go and how far you can go and where you can hit. Whereas if you're in the air, there's no boundaries really, is there?
Well, it'd be very interesting if they could use a laser at sea over a kilometre, because if it doesn't bend,
well, This is the thing, isn't it? Same with radar signals; they don't bend.
But it does say it's going to be used at sea. Both Army and Royal Navy are considering using this technology as a part of their future air defence capabilities. While laser weaponry may sound like something from science fiction, the US Navy has already installed systems on several destroyers. However, missiles rather than lasers have been used to shoot down drones during the current conflict over in the Red Sea. Missiles can be far more expensive than drones they destroy, with some costing millions of pounds compared to a few thousand. The MOD says firing the Dragon system for 10 seconds costs an equivalent a regular heater for an hour, with the cost of operating a typically less than £10 per shot.
Oh, they're going to be shooting at you left, right, and centre, then, aren't they?
Yes, what's the point of it? You know,
what I mean? My
and
God.
maybe that's what they're. Maybe that's what they're. You know, they're using these villages and towns and to try and get precise accuracy on it, because obviously, you know, one laser, if it's destroying a pound, that ain't going to really do too much damage, is it? You know.
Well, this is it. It's the position of it as well. You know, you're not going to have collateral damage either, are you? If looking at it from that point of view, you send a missile in there that could do everything within like 50-meter radius.
Yeah.
A direct energy weapon like that, you can pretty much, depending on how far away you are. Well, it's a laser. It's not going to expand the further it goes, is it? It's always going to be that pinprick of. Well,
see, to me, that's very interesting, because that could, like, you know, if you get the right sight of, you know, right line of sight, you can go, you know, get through someone through the window.
Of course you can.
You know, just, you know, you think of all these in the past, you know, sort of like Bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, and things like that. What they've actually, you know, they've sent all these like 100-pound bombs, you know, to destroy the whole area and just hope that they've got their target. But you think, though, you know, if a drone could go over and there, you know, there used to be like Saddam Hussein just sitting by his swimming pool, you know, one laser, he ain't going to see it, is he? If he ain't got his laser glasses on.
Honestly, I reckon these things have already been used, mate, for situations like that.
I think I have to concur. I think that's, you know, I just think it's, you know, you
ain't going to hear it.
Truth.
You ain't going to see it. You ain't going to hear it. How did he die? I don't know. Something melted through his head. I mean, that's the only giveaway, really, isn't
it? You could just imagine, though, the Brits inventing one. The only way it picks up is you have to have a pound on your head. Oh, you can't shoot him. He ain't got a coin. Yeah. How can we line it up? He ain't got a coin. But no, I do. You know, I do see where the ball lightning stuff comes into play. The conspiracy now, rather than these lasers, we know that used. It's what they're using them for, and what they're dummy running them on. There's a good chance that it's been used in America. You know, the Hawaiian thing. It's a bit odd as well that the Facebook logo is blue.
Yeah. Well, Twitter as well, wasn't it? Twitter, Facebook.
Blue. Microsoft always used to be blue when you used to turn on the screen, didn't it? The blue background with the Windows sign.
See, there's symbolism everywhere, mate. There's symbolism everywhere. You just subconsciously you don't take it in. But you think, just quickly before you move on from the lasers, I mean, how long have you seen I mean, everyone can buy a laser pen. We use laser grids, ghost hunting, and things like that. But the laser pens you buy, the little pointers where you point on the blackboard, whiteboard, or whatever, they're not very powerful. But it's been a few years now, you can buy them stronger lasers where if you pointed it at a match end, it will light the match. You can have a row of balloons and point it through the balloons and it will pop, 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 pop through all of them.
Yeah.
And this is what you can buy yourself, the public. So if you can buy a laser that can set fire to things from Amazon, TikTok, things like that, I don't think it's so much them ones. I don't think they're the strong ones. It's the fatter ones, isn't it? You can burn through. But if we can buy them, you're telling me that they haven't already worked out military-wise before anything's sold like that. It always goes into the military complex first, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And they make it bigger, better, stronger, more powerful. It all would have been used well before then. This is just the extreme level of it now, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. I've just, we're talking about symbolism. Everything that we know that, Facebook, blue. Yeah, so we know, we know he's sort of a part of the bigger picture, didn't we? Zuckerberg. Hold on, I'm just going to have a look now.
Yeah, why are all these big players selling billions of pounds worth of shares as well? That's a bit suspect.
Microsoft has got blue in it.
Mm.
Microsoft has got blue in it. And then if you look at your app on Amazon, that's got blue in it as well. My app's got blue in it. Wrapped in blue. Which is very odd. Very, very odd that the colours to be have all got a bit of blue in them. I'd love to know.
Do you know what? I've got 4 Amazon apps.
All blue? Yeah, same here.
1, 2, 3, 4 at the top with the blue bit at the top.
All blue.
Yeah.
I'd love to see their headquarters. I'd love to see all their headquarters, just in case that they're all sort of covered, just in case the stray missile hits. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? It would be. It would be interesting. But no, that's just covering up. We like to talk about our conspiracies on this. We've spoke about it. Not to say that it's been unearthed or anything like that.
Isn't Amazon buildings blue as well? That big warehouse near you.
Right, let me have a. What is it?
I'm
Amazon.
sure that is blue, isn't it?
Amazon.
By the docks, by Tilbury Docks, isn't it?
Head. I'm going to do headquarters. Let's see. Let's see what it looks like. Oh my God! It's a sphere. It's weird. All blue.
Is it blue?
All blue. All blue. All blue. Let me just show you for everybody. Do this. Do that. Do this. Was it that one? That's it. There you go. Blue. So we know Amazon is covered if anything doesn't go wrong. But no, we can close that one now. We can close it to bed. There will always be a conspiracy regarding lasers and things like that. But the conspiracy now moves and shifts to what they're actually doing with the lasers. It's going to be common knowledge that they're going to be used in warfare. That's, I understand that. but I do now. You know, the videos that we've shown you in the past and the clips that we've shown you with regards to the blue. Perhaps we should change everything to blue, Paul, not green. I'm worried
I like
now.
the green.
Yeah, I like the green, but it will not safe. I'm going to paint my roof blue just in case. Going to buy a blue car. But no, it's just, for me, it's just confirmation that what we suspected was causing this damage is pretty much 100% nailed on. That's my...
But only because something just don't add up about the whole thing, was it? You know, they started out of nowhere and nothing added up the way the whole thing was handled, as if it was expected. Yeah. But then, do we look at things differently because we've got that sort of conspiracy mind?
Yeah, I do. I do think we look at it differently, but I think we're entitled to look at it differently. I do think we're entitled to look at it differently because of what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I question everything. I mean, sometimes even the wife, she's like, "Oh my God, really?" It could be something so silly, but and I'll just pick someone up or something on the telly. I'll pick it up, and go right. Now that don't make sense, or that's the reason for that. And oh, really? Not everything's a conspiracy, Paul, and I can't help it now.
Well, you can't help it at the moment. The problem in the UK and probably around the globe at the moment, they're making the conspiracy theorist so active. So active. I have never heard the word conspiracy theorist or theory or whatever over the last week in the UK than I ever have before in my life. We have
throw that word around now for anyone that just goes against the narrative, don't they? Oh, he's a conspiracy theorist.
Let's just touch on the elephant in the room. Okay, let's touch on it. The elephant in the room. The biggest conspiracy that's going on in the UK at the moment is Kate Middleton. Everybody, we're talking BBC, ITV, we're talking all the big players in this have used the word, there's a conspiracy. What it is, I don't generally know. If you have been living under a rock, and I'm pretty sure that everyone from and know it was all brought to light in the United States, wasn't it? First and foremost, then it knocked back down to the UK. So I'm assuming if I don't know if Heidi's still watching, that she knows about the conspiracy of this Mother's Day picture that was placed or released by the royal family. And then it was torn to shreds with estimated 19.
Yeah, mainstream outlets.
19 issues with the photos.
Oh yeah.
That the photo was so photoshopped that it puts everything, and it got pulled, didn't it? It was like it got out, then it was pulled very quickly because it got picked apart. Now, from my mind, that picture, there is no way in this world that picture was released by the royal family without knowing what it was meant to do. There is, it was released by, I don't know what you would call it. I don't know. Their workers, their media. Oh yes, we saw that picture. Everyone talks about her. So it is over in Denmark as well. There is no way that picture gets released without them knowing what it's going to cause. Because the photoshopping was done by someone like me. When you actually looked at it,
But this is what the other way of the other way of looking at it, isn't it? You know, I mean, everyone uses I mean, I personally don't know how to use it myself, but as far as I'm aware, everyone uses Photoshop now, right? So let's say it was genuine. William did take it. He said, "Oh no, God, I don't like that bit. Oh look, I look fat in this." As women always do. Oh, I look fat on that. Yeah, yeah. So they're having a little move about this, that, sneak that. Yeah, all that looks all right. Post it, bosh, done. Now, if that was the case, and all this is kicked up and down, blah blah blah, no one's seen her.
No.
Now, for the hype that it's brought up about it, would it not have been? She could have quite easily done a screen, you know, recording. Look, everyone, it was my poor photoshopping or this and that. Yeah, blah blah. I'm fine. Here I am. She hasn't been seen since before Christmas, I believe, wasn't it?
The only time we potentially saw her was when she left the hospital.
No one see her at the hospital though.
No, she left the hospital in the car. There is a video of her, but if you see her, she hasn't got the beauty spot, or she hasn't got the eyebrows. So whoever was in the car was a double.
Yeah,
they put her in the car and got
lot,
that tackle, which, you know, I expect that's been done a lot. That's nothing untoward in my eyes. But
I remember seeing someone. They had an insider in the hospital, didn't they? A whistleblower. Because when she had an operation, didn't she, or something, and it come out that she was in a coma, an induced coma or something like that, and the royal family quickly put that to bed, saying no, that's not true. She's doing well. She's on the road to recovery. Blah blah blah. And then this whistleblower cantered back, saying, "I'm one of the staff that's looking after her. I can guarantee you, she is in a coma."
Yeah,
and yeah, what is going on?
What I'm saying, I generally can't believe that the royal family allowed that photo to go out.
Mm.
There is no way they're paying people like me and you to do photoshopping. They would have the most ultimate,
the best of the best, wouldn't they?
Beyond any, you know, we're talking about, I'm assuming there's
Star Trek special effects person working on that one.
Someone who works in Disney or Pixar or whatever would have got that photo and done it to the, you know, where you wouldn't have picked it up. Yeah. It's all, to me, it's once again, it's that, you know, sugar crumbs, too black. Yeah, because I don't care who you are. They've got copious amounts of money. They can have any person on this. They could have Spielberg Photoshop that photo if they wanted to, but they chose to didn't. I'm sorry. It was too obvious what is going on.
Mm.
You know, something isn't right. Now, bearing in mind that the official statement from the palace was that we wouldn't be seeing Kate Middleton till after Easter.
That's right.
Which is fine. You know, I get all that. If there is any issues that she needs to get over, everyone's entitled to get over something, especially if she's had surgery. And if it is true that she's been put in a coma because something may have gone wrong or something didn't go according to plan, it might take extra time. But is what I don't like is that surely the palace knows what is going on, but they're choosing not to deal with it.
Mm.
That's even more weirder. You're quite right in what you're saying. Could quite easily William come out and say, my wife is fine. She doesn't want to appear on camera at the moment. She went through quite a lot of surgery. It was major surgery. When she feels better, we'll be back. She'll be doing her jobs.
But they're not like that now, are they? They're. I don't want to paint them in too much of a bad light. I'm not really a royalist. I quite like really William and Kate. They seem quite genuine enough. But they don't need to explain themselves to anyone. That's the way they look at this. I believe, you know, just because the media and everything, they've got quite a bad relationship with the media, especially after what happened with Diana and everything like that. So I think in their eyes, let them crack on. If they want to say this, say that, do this, do that, crack on. You carry on. We'll come out and do what we want to do when we're ready. If everything is good, if everything is fine. You know,
I get your point
so
on that one.
If, in my eyes, if he does come out and say something, then that's when my alarm bells might start ringing. If he does it and not her,
But then
or
I think
anyone other than her does it,
just puts it to bed, though, doesn't it?
well, does it?
I think it would put it to bed because there's been no, you know, this has been, you know, and this is what I say. I just don't understand it. They released the photo. Obviously, someone should be, you know, if this is me as a royal family and I'm having all this, you know, this photo being released, right? My God, if that got out, there would be heads rolling. There would be. There would be head rolling. Now, the picture that they release her in doesn't look anything wrong with her. Don't look a dicky bird wrong with her. She's just being a mum.
Yeah.
You know, so that could have been done live. If you haven't, you know, that picture is showing there is nothing wrong with her. So just come and put, you know, is it they want this publicity? Are they doing it on purpose? Is this what they want? It is the, you know, Heidi seems to be agreeing with you there. True, Paul, they have the very best to help them. But I don't quite know why they're doing it and gauging it. I can't necessarily work it out. But it is one of the big, you know, we've got a lot of our mainstream media quoting the words conspiracy. And they're not shutting it down. It's the word. And that is the worrying thing. When you get people like the BBC saying the conspiracy, this has been photoshopped, it's a terrible Photoshop, this is it. Why isn't no one from the royal family? That, to me, is like, holy hell, did the BBC just really say that? They're virtually, you know, we all know what, you know, the mainstream like in this country is. It's like they will try and hide and deflect.
Yeah, there's a conspiracy going on and we're not involved in it. What's going on here?
But it's like, it's crazy. It is crazy because it isn't the hardest thing to shut down. You know, generally, I know that, you know, but we even tippy-toe it gently. We know, even you go back a couple of years ago when, you know, the Queen passed away, 2 days before that picture was released when Theresa May was sworn in. Was it Theresa May or Liz Truss? Or one of them left, and it was, you know, I think it was Liz Truss, wasn't it?
Yeah, Liz Truss.
She got sworn in 2 days before the Queen.
Because they blamed her, didn't they?
Yeah, but if you look at the pictures there, I think there was a lot of Photoshop going on there, even if it was the real Queen in the picture. I'm assuming
something was said about that at the time, wasn't there? It was like something didn't add up with it.
Yeah. So, but I'm not saying it was, you know, that's not what I'm saying. I generally, this one, the one that we're talking about, Kate Middleton, is that this is glaringly obvious that there is something quite not right, because all of the mainstream media are all towing the same line of this isn't right. And you're quite right what you're saying, Paul. You know, you're the royal family. What, you know, they don't have to say anything if they choose not to say anything. I get that. But surely that let's not beat around the bush, I suppose, that everyone loves Kate Middleton. Everyone loves her. Yeah. Everyone loves her. You know, she's like your modern day Princess Diana.
Mm.
So, is what I don't understand is why they're not addressing the people's favourite, because if they need the people, then there's only two people that are going to really save the royal family.
Mm.
Because, you know, God love him, no one likes Charlie, and they all detest poor old Camilla. You know, and no one likes them, but they do like Will and Kate.
Really?
But why are they not putting them in that light? I just don't. There's just something that's not right. I know there's loads of conspiracies banded
Exactly
around.
that. Something ain't right. So do you remember the show we done on the Notre Dame's prophecies?
Yes, yes.
About the king stepping down. He's announced he's had cancer, the first royal in history to ever sort of have cancer. Although he hasn't actually said he's got cancer, is it? It was a bowel problem. And you had that woman that was interviewed on the telly, her assistant.
Confirmed.
Yeah, but her assistant, his assistant, or who works close to the royal family, live on telly, she was talking about it and this and that, and she went, "No, he hasn't got cancer." And she went, "Well, yeah, no, he hasn't got cancer. I'm telling you, he hasn't got cancer. He's got a bowel problem, yes, but he hasn't got cancer." And they started sort of and she realised what she'd said, and I don't know, something just don't add up. And then you've got all this going on there, and they're saying Charles will have to step down, but in the prophecies, someone else would take over, someone unexpected.
I think it was the I think it was described quite. I think there was even the word red in there. I think there's somewhere in the prophecy said red-haired prince.
Really? I don't remember that.
I'm sure there was a key. It wasn't.
Because it wouldn't even go to Harry, though, would it?
No.
It would go to William's boy, wouldn't it? He'd be next in line.
I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure there is. I'm not. Don't quote me by saying it was definitely the red or anything. The redhead, but there was definitely something that linked it to Harry rather than William.
Mm.
Hyde said, I was just sitting here thinking about Harry taking over. Oh yeah, May, their boy. That was quick writing.
Yeah, their boy, William's boy. I think he's next in line. But
yeah, he would be.
Something's not. But you're saying someone unexpected would take over from the Charles.
And I'm sure there was a little bit more to it that pinned it to Harry. But this was the year of the advocate. You know, it was an advocation. Was it? Am I saying that right? When he doesn't pass, he abdicates or advocates the throne.
Advocates, sorry, yeah.
Yes, and I think that's what is, you know. But then, you know, how I've always said it is that, you know, you think you were born into the royal family. That geezer has gone 75 years going through all the training, all this.
To be king.
And he gets it to be king, knowing that he's only going to have it for probably 20 years max. You know, I felt sorry for him because it was, you know, there should be a thing that, you know, every 20 years it changes. Give them all something, you know. I just felt sorry for him. I can't help it. If that was, you know, he's been born into that life. It's no different to William.
But to me, when he had his got crowned at that, he looked nervous.
He did,
eyes, didn't he? He looked nervous. I mean, rightly so. I mean, who wouldn't be? Let's be honest. You know, he's like you said, he's been gearing up for that all his life,
and it's
the moment's finally here, and he's,
you know, a lot of, you know, one of my family members, very, very good with them. She loves the royal family. And she always said, oh, no, you know, Charles will advocate and just let Harry go. And I said, he won't. There is no way you're going to go through your whole life waiting for your moment. Even if it was only for a day, you would still do it, because that is what he was born for. No different to what William is. He's just a puppet. He's being played. He's being manipulated into being the King of England at some point. Now, if Nostradamus is true and the prophet says it's not him, then maybe this is what is in the play at the moment. Maybe this is right on cue of what could be coming, of why we're not getting any, you know, this is all just circumstantial evidence. There could be a pretty good, strange, damn reason, like Paul said, they're the royal family. Give a shit. You know, as simple as that. Simple as that. But I really thought, you know, when you listen to Charles speak, he wanted to make the royal family more with the people. And, you know, he shrunk it, didn't he? He shrunk it very quickly. He doesn't want all the princes and all the dukes and all that. He just shrunk it very quickly. I get all that. But if you're going to want it as the people, you've got to be transparent. And this is far from being transparent. You know, no disrespect to the bloke. As soon as they said he went into hospital with a bowel condition, I sat in my front room and said, he's going to come out with cancer next week. And what happened? It's all there. It's not, but this one has really baffled me.
Yeah.
And it's not the baffling because the bad Photoshop. It's more baffling. I'm sitting there watching BBC News and they're going, it's a conspiracy. And I'm like, what did I just hear? The BBC are confirming that there's a conspiracy going on. Just like you said, if you know, you sit there and you just hear that word out of the mouths of ITV, BBC. If I was watching Channel 4 and the news come on and that come out, it wouldn't have even battered an eyelid. You know, they like
BBC, for Christ's sake, yeah.
This is the BBC using the word that actually accusing the royal family of being a conspiracy. I'm thinking, well, I need to pay attention to this. Yeah. And I did. I've really sort of, over the last couple of days, looked at the photo and think, oh, holy hell, that's terrible. You know, my best friend is a Photoshop editor, and I texted him and said, is this really bad? Like, and he said, what? So I sent him the picture. He said, that's terrible. He said, that's like GCSE
levels. Because I remember the wife showing me on whatever she was looking at the time. She said, oh, look, there she is. She's all right. And I looked at her. I didn't notice a damn thing, first of all, because I suppose it's not. But you look at it and I was like, oh, yeah, they look all happy and smiley. And that was it. And it weren't till, like you said, it all come on the news and that, and then everyone was posting the picture. So I'm then looking at it and I think, oh, blimey, yeah.
But it was even the face, wasn't it? They actually found her, you know, the actual face that was on her so-called body. They actually found it in another magazine. Exactly the same face. They actually put it half and half, and it matched perfectly. And there's all that said was, this one altered the colour of her face. It was absolutely, it was on some, I won't say Vogue magazine, but some magazine that she was in, and it was the same face. They just cut it straight down the middle, and it worked perfectly. It was identical. So, and I say, I'm not sitting here to say there's a conspiracy going on. I'm not. But the whole, if the BBC are saying it, well, I think I'm quite in my rights to say it.
Yeah,
because I'm sure the BBC will be targeted well before me. But if you've got a conspiracy on it, go for it. Right, Paul, fill me in with what you sent me this morning, because I'm confused as hell.
Yes. Right. You made me laugh though. So you sent back, yep, signed it. What is it? It's a petition. So to me, this is quite important. So with our governments, you've got two choices basically, haven't you? Labour and Conservatives.
Yeah.
Because of the way the system's been set up. So there's now a petition out for proportional representation, which means if a party gets the majority of the votes, that party is going to be in power. So I'll give you for example. Remember when UKIP was running, when they started the Brexit run? So that year when they had the votes for UKIP had more votes than Labour and Conservative combined. Now, I'm not saying it would have been a good thing, but if that was proportionate representation, UKIP would be in power. They would have won and they would have been in power because the majority of the population voted for them. But because of the way the system's set up, like I think in certain areas, UKIP, I don't know the exact figures, but let's say UKIP had 100,000 votes and Conservative had 10,000. The way the system's set up, Conservative won 5 seats with them 10,000 votes. UKIP won 1 seat with 100,000 votes. Right, so that's the way, and this is why people, when they're looking at voting this year, hopefully, you know, they're saying, "Oh, well, we don't want to vote Conservative, but this new one, Reform, coming out," which I don't agree with all their things, but I think their manifesto's pretty damn good for the people, and they're like, "Well, hang on a minute, if I vote Reform, they're never going to get in, even if everyone voted Reform, they won't get in." You know, so basically you're going to waste your Conservative vote for Reform and that'll get Labour in, and we don't want Labour in, so I better vote Conservative. So you've had 14 years of Conservative that have failed the country, but people are frightened to leave and not vote Conservative because if they vote for someone else, Labour might get in and they don't want Labour in. You know, this is the way it works. Whereas if you had proportionate representation, the party that gets the majority of the votes win that election, which is, we are pretty much the only country left that don't have proportionate representation when it's in the voting system. Because I think it was the Tories that originally set that up. So you've literally got the pick of the two, Labour and Conservative. No one else gets close to being the leader.
But what is the chances of this actually happening in this election? Because obviously it sounds like we're going to be in election year again.
It all comes down to the amount of people that signed the petition. If every single person signed a petition, then they wouldn't have a choice but to put it into place.
How many are we on now?
I haven't got a clue. I don't think it's been out. I think it's only been out a day. But again, it's how many people see it. If you try and share it on social media, I'll be honest. I'll send it on to a few friends and family, but I haven't put it on in social media yet. I will do, because I think everybody should sign that. I mean, look, it's more democratic, isn't it? Not I really believe in the democracy side of things. I mean, look at the Brexit vote, you know. How is that? Yes, they won the Brexit vote, but not by a great deal, really. But it's classed as democratic. But so let's say it was just over 50% won it, the other just under 50% lost it. So say the 48% of people that didn't vote for it now have to live with a decision they didn't want, which is hardly fair. It's not, you've never got that sort of individual sort of democracy type thing, have you? You know, no, but to me, it's the fairer way of doing things.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. I can't not knock what that, you know, I'm glad I signed it, even if I didn't know what I was signing. But no, to me, it makes perfect sense. And to be fair, it should be like that.
Of course, it should
be like that. Then what, you know, I don't see why one person who gets less votes is winning, because it's all based on seats. No, I get it. I do get the seat thing. I do, but I think it should be more of that. We need to vote for the people that we believe in, rather than counteracting anything.
No, I totally agree. And also, you know, I try not to get too political, but vote for the policies that you want to introduce and the manifestos they put forward. Don't vote just because you like or dislike the look of the person and go, who's their front man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A lot of people do that. I don't like that. Don't like the look of him. No. Read what they're going to do. Look at what their plans are. Look at what's in their contract to the people. That's what you want to look at. Just because you don't like a person, they're just a front man. They're just a puppet. They're the speaker.
Yeah.
You've got to look at what the party's actually offering to deliver the people.
Well, it's all I can say is that I can't see it ever happening, because that's not what they want. But it's sad. You know, maybe I sit on the glass half empty ship tonight, but it would be good if that actually happened. But do I see in this forthcoming election? No. Maybe the next one at a push, if they rally enough. But it's a good idea. It's a good there. I know there's got to be 100,000 votes before government will discuss it.
Yeah.
But we all know.
I think it'll reach that number, no problem, if people are aware of it.
But I think if it is, I think it's what they can discuss it. But I think they will delay the discussion to after the vote.
After the election.
I
don't know. See, like the one that fella was saying, this is possibly the only way Conservatives will stay in power, but also the only way Labour could not lose it. So Conservatives should really push this forward, because they know they've lost a hell of a lot of their votes, or the number of... See, the people that usually vote Conservative don't want Labour, but they're voting for others, whereas they do want Labour because they think, well, I don't want Conservative, they've already messed us up, so I better vote Labour. So you get the ones that change from Conservative to Labour. So they're saying Conservative need to push this into the proportionate representation, because that could save their vote. So they're sort of like stuck between a rock and a hard place here.
I wonder if
this could be the only thing that saves them.
Yeah, I wonder if Heidi's still listening and watching. How does it work in Denmark? Does it still work on public rep? How do you say it?
Proportionate representation.
That's a mouthful in itself. Proportionate representation. Or does it work the same as ours? I don't quite know. It'd be interesting to get Heidi's take on that, but I don't know if Heidi's still in the chat or not. I will find out in a minute. But no, what a word! What a word, Heidi! Proportionate representation. Does your government over there work on seats, or is it just the mass votes? Does it work in the States? Are they proportionate representation?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
You've only got the two parties out there, haven't you?
So it could be
Liberal or Democrat, isn't you?
They still have to have seats, though, don't they? They still have to gain states. They work on states, don't they?
Yeah.
You have to have more states than the other one.
Well, it's the same as us with councils and things like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Mass votes and 109 seat in the government. A massive vote. So they must be the same as
what we're trying to go to, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Well, Will it happen? I think we could be dreaming at this election. But we can only remain hopeful, can't we?
Yeah, 100%.
But I think we've left it a bit too late for that one.
It depends how quick it finds its traction, Russ.
Yeah.
But, you know, never forget, people do have the power. If we scream loud enough.
Yeah, but they've got enough power to put us out as well. But we won't know, will we? We won't know of whatever it is until I just put notes in there. I just put notes in about the vote, just in case we have to go back to it at some point, and we can say when we talk about it.
Yeah.
So I can remember. Right, guys, we have come to the end of the show tonight. We are leaving half hour early tonight because I've still got a lot to do, a lot to sort out. I do believe that we are not on air tomorrow on the EGH Paranormal Talk Show because we are travelling up to Nottingham to find Robin Hood. We have the first event of the year up in Nottingham. So, you know, if you're joining us and you are listening, thank you ever so much. But thank you for I've got to say thank you to Paul, and I say thank you to all our listeners and watchers for my rant and allowing me to get it off my chest. I can sleep tonight. I will sleep so much better tonight, knowing that that idiot isn't on my head anymore. And I'm glad that Paul sort of also saw how idiotic he was, and Kim also saw how idiotic he was. So I don't feel so alone anymore. No. So, guys, thank you ever so much. Paul, thank you ever so much. And we'll see you all next week.
Yeah, all right. Goodbye.
Take care, everybody. I've still lost the radio ending. I can't find the radio. Thank you for everybody who's watched us tonight on Facebook and YouTube. Take care, and I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.